Listen, thank you all for coming out and being with us today, Mary Ann. And listen, before I get started in my formal remarks about these members' hard work, I want to say a few moments and take a few moments and just talk about the fatal storms that hit north central Texas last night. It was a really vicious storm. When you take a look at the some of the video of the actual storm itself, and these were a group of tornadoes that claimed the lives of at least 6 individuals, left dozens hospitalized, and we're still counting the number of damaged homes. So still a lot of assessing of the damage in that part of the state. And interestingly, a lot of these homes, Doc, were Habitat of Humanity's built homes. So we're very deeply involved in the search and rescue at this particular point in time, and we're standing ready to assist the local officials any way that we can. In the meantime, I hope all of us will keep the folks of Granbury and that area of Central Texas in your prayers. Anyway, back to the business at hand, and I want to say thanks for all of these members, and Michael in particular for you being here today, and your wife Cynthia. You know, Michael's story played a very central role in making sure that we're here today. It was his vocal efforts and other Texans' work to make sure that citizens of this state would never have to face the ordeal that you faced. And I want to thank you for that. It's fitting that this signing occurs almost 50 years to the day of a landmark Supreme Court case, Brady versus Maryland, which took early steps to prevent prosecutors from withholding exculpatory evidence from trials. And Senator Ellis, Senator Duncan, as well as Representative Thompson and Judge Lewis, I say to you all in particular, thank you for the work that you did on this very important issue. We are known as a law and order state, and as such, we've never been easy on those convicted of a crime in our state, particularly those who have committed brutal crimes. With that tradition, however, comes a very powerful responsibility to make sure our judicial process is transparent and it's as open as humanly possible. Senate Bill 1611 helps serve that case, making our system more fair, helping prevent wrongful convictions, and for that matter, any penalties that are harsher than what is warranted by the facts. It makes the discovery process more transparent, more prompt, and more responsive to the discovery of new evidence, even after a case has been tried. Again, this is a major victory for integrity and fairness in our judicial system. And Senator Ellis, I would like for you, followed by Senator Duncan, and then Chairman Thompson to say a few words, if you would, please.
Thank you, Governor. Ms. Thompson saw me walk in with this script, and she said, can you just submit it to the Journal? I first want to thank Michael Morton and Mrs. Morton, particularly all of you, Michael, for using the tragedy of your life to try and make sure that this does not happen to any other people. I want to thank Chairman Duncan, Chairman of State Affairs, and Senator Whitmire in particular on my side of the rotunda for the work that they put into making this bill come about. It is truly a bipartisan effort. And I want to simply say that the road to justice is not something you can do in a millisecond. It's generally not a jet plane ride. It's a journey. And this bill is an important step on that journey. I want to remind you of just a few short words from that historic Brady versus Maryland opinion. One of my mentors, someone I never met, but I always admired, just as William O. Douglas wrote, society wins not only when the guilty are convicted, but when criminal trials are fair. Our system of the administration of justice suffers when any accused is treated unfairly. That's what the Brady decision was all about. And this, even if it's a little after the rest of the country, this is an important milestone in that journey towards justice for Texas. So I want to thank the prosecutors and all of the other people in this room. I won't call all the names out, but who helped on this. And of course, I want to thank my friends at the Innocence Project out of New York for being willing to put the resources of that organization behind your case, Mr. Morton. Senator Duncan.
Well, thank you. A lot has been said. I think liberty is probably the most important tenet of our Constitution in this country and this state. And this legislation goes a long way toward helping preserve liberty, as Michael Morton's case tells us. Michael was courageous to assist us and inspire us to work together long hours to try to accomplish this legislation, which goes a long way toward preventing what happened to him, to help us from doing this again. The most gratifying thing you see on the Senate floor is when Senator Ellis, who inspires us all on these issues, brings forth persons who have been exonerated, who have served time in prison for crimes they didn't commit, who have been exonerated by measures that the legislature has taken up. And I think that's one of the proudest moments we have on the Senate floor, like this bill signing is today for Michael Morton. So thank you. Thank you also to our staffs, Brandon and Megan in particular, who have worked hours and hours and hours and actually became very passionate about this bill.
I want to thank you, Governor, for signing this piece of legislation today. But more importantly, I'd like to thank all of the persons who worked on this historic piece of legislation. And while Texas is known as the law and order state, Texas will also be known as a fair state, a state in which a person can get a fair trial, a trial that would be based upon the law, and where justice would be served. I'd like to share my time with my chairperson, who was gracious enough to accept this bill in his committee, and who was kind enough to work with me and all the committee members in being sure that this bill was gotten through the committee process and to the Calendars Committee.
Thank you, Ms. Taylor. Appreciate it. It is an honor to be here with this distinguished crowd, and also with Michael Morton. It would be so easy to waste the rest of your life being bitter over the part of your life that you lost in the penitentiary, but it's been quite the opposite. A person who's shown that he can overcome this kind of adversity and use that to make Texas a better state. In the best tradition of Sam Houston, we thank you.